Hi everyone, excited to be here with you today. My name is Eden and welcome to today's lesson where I'm going to be showing you one process that you can try out all by yourself to write copy better than what AI writing tools can give you. Yes, of course, we know AI is so hot right now because AI writing tools are fast, they're cheap, which is great for a lot of reasons. And they've enabled masses of people who don't know how to write to write. But that last sentence is actually a double-edged sword because unless you've trained a custom GPT all by yourself, AI writing tools are going to give you generic copy because everyone's using the same prompts, everyone's using the same tools, and this is just giving us more and more of the same. Just think for a minute how many different blog posts you've seen that start off in today's fast-paced digital landscape, right? Everyone's using the same tools and the same prompts to get the same kinds of things. And this is a really big problem when we look at the 4 basic principles of copywriting, which you can also look at 4 steps that your copy needs to take in order to persuade a reader to convert. So good copy, aka copy that converts, is copy that's first and foremost clear, as well as concise. By concise, we mean it gets right to the point. And these 2 steps are exactly what AI is good at doing. But to paraphrase Bon Jovi for a second, we're only halfway there. And what AI writing isn't good at is the last 2 steps, making your copywriting credible and compelling. Because as I mentioned a second ago, when everyone's using the same tools and prompts, we end up sounding more of the same. Sure, they might mix some words here and there, or the tone of voice might be slightly different, but the copy these tools generate is usually nowhere near credible or compelling enough to actually encourage readers to convert. But if you are using AI writing tools and you have some voice of the customer data on hand, going from 0 to conversion with your copy is going to be a lot easier. And I'm sure you've heard of voice of the customer, or what we call VOC for short. So this is just a really brief refresher to show you how you can use it to help you go above and beyond AI generated copy. So going just from clear and concise all the way through to credible and compelling. So good VOC has 3 key characteristics. It's real. It feels like someone would say it to a friend in a natural conversation. It's unique. It's something that you haven't heard before, but it makes sense when you think about it, like it's instantly understandable. And 3, it's highly detailed. It paints a vivid picture of the concept or event in your mind without much effort at all. And while we always try to aim for VOC that scores a perfect 3 out of 3, even 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So the question is though, but how do you actually do the thing? How do you level up your copy, or how do you level up AI generated copy? How can you do it even better than the AI tools already do? So let me show you how. To do it, we're going to need some AI generated copy and some voice of the customer. So you can source this immediately online, and I'm going to show you how you can do that if you don't have any VOC to draw from, or you can use it from a VOC collection sheet if you have, or straight from unedited customer testimonials and transcripts. Now you can use this process to help you write anything that you need to write, whether it's an ad, a landing page, a product page, you name it. But you'll need some AI copy and you'll need some VOC to have things handy to make things go a lot faster. And like I said before, I'm not talking about when you've already trained a custom GPT. Not every client or boss is going to let you use just any AI writing tool, and not everyone is going to let you put client IP even into a GPT or into any AI writing tool unless you have all the training and privacy settings turned off. And even then, even sometimes clients won't let you. So here I'm going to show you a method that you can use that's also safe for any of those situations. So let's write a landing page headline using this process that will take you 2 or 3 steps, depending on how far you want to push it. So first, you're going to prompt your AI writing tool. You're going to need to make sure you're asking it to act as an expert copywriter, and you need to feed it with the correct product info and your target audience. So here's a prompt that's pretty familiar. Some of you might have seen something similar before. It's a pretty basic prompt, but it's pretty similar to what a lot of people are already using out there. So this is what ChatGPT 4.0 Mini gave me. And while they're not bad, the problem is that anyone using a similar prompt could get these kinds of headlines for their product. So while these headlines are clear and concise, they're not necessarily credible or compelling. And, simply because any company can make these claims about their product, they're not unique, they're not differentiated. And you kind of feel like you've heard them before. Now, as I mentioned before, while AI tools are really great at making things clear or concise, they struggle with being credible and compelling, which will really help you drive conversions through your copy. So let's move on to step 2, and let's bring in some voice of the customer. So if you don't have voice of the customer collection sheet or customer transcripts or testimonials on hand, you can simply do a Google for some Reddit threads, or you can use a tool like Perplexity. Again, just using the free version to show you how you can do it too. I like to use Perplexity from time to time because you can ask it to pull in the sources. So you can do a reference check, and this is exactly what we need to collect VOC for this part. So I asked Perplexity basically the same info that I was plugging into ChatGPT earlier. To ask, what do professional women want the most in a luxury work bag? I asked it to source an answer from Reddit posts and threads or social media posts and provide a link to the post so we can check the source content to capture that VOC. And Perplexity handed me a ton of different attributes, including the Reddit thread sources, which is exactly, like I said, exactly what we're looking for. And when I dove into the first source that Perplexity showed me, a Reddit thread, I found a user response, a comment that said exactly what they love about their luxury work bag. It also describes a pain that they had with other solutions, which is super interesting. And notice how this is really great voice of the customer. It actually gets 3 out of 3 from our criteria because it's real, it's unique, and it's highly detailed. It uses words to describe other bags, cute totes, and it explains what was bad about them, that they would dig into their shoulder and that it would hurt their shoulder after a while. It also talks in particular about what they love about this specific bag, that the strap is pillowy. So if that's true about your product, then you can say that about your product. So we're going to copy and paste this across to ChatGPT and see what happens next. So basically what I did was I took the exact same prompt as I used before, but added in the VOC and asked ChatGPT to give me some more headline variations. And immediately you can see that the headlines it supplied are significantly better than what we got with our first general prompt. They incorporate some of the exact words that we pulled from the VOC that we sourced from Reddit. Now, at this point, you can stop right here. You can choose a couple of the variations and keep moving on with whatever else have to do and writing the rest of that landing page. Or if you're feeling a little bit spicy and you want to push these headlines even further, you can take them, pop them into just a blank doc, and we can play around with them to see if we can strengthen them even more. And again, what ChatGPT is great at doing is pulling in the average of all the content that's out there on the internet, of all the potential landing page headlines that it's been trained on up until this point. So what you have here is a little bit better than the average, but we want to see what we can do to be way above average to help your copy convert even more. So I like these first 3 headlines that it suggested, so I'm going to pull them across to a doc, as I said, so we can play around with some of the ideas. You can pop these headlines that AI has pulled out for you into a table, but you don't have to. You can just free flow in the Google Doc if you want. And I want to focus for my own headlines. I want to focus on using the exact words from the VOC as much as possible. So for example, I've highlighted here, again, the strap is pillowy, doesn't dig into your shoulder, the cute toads and hurting your shoulder. These are really, really rich pieces of VOC that we were looking for. So a first variation that we can do to try and go above and beyond, I can get a headline such as the luxury work bag that's as cute as a tote but doesn't hurt your shoulder. Using the same words, I can come up with another variation, meet the luxurious work bag that doesn't dig into your shoulder. And using those same keywords, again, I can even turn it into a question. Love your cute tote but hate that it digs into your shoulder. Check out the luxury work bag with pillowy straps. All right, now it's your turn. Yeah, that was easy. I promised it would be. So I want you to try experimenting with some of the prompts I mentioned and with collecting and using VOC and maybe even freestyling a little bit on your own to see how you can take your copywriting from average AI to super converting. And if there are any other copywriting related topics you'd love to learn about, then leave a comment on the video or reach out to CXL, and maybe the next video will be just about that. In the meantime, have fun with AI and voice of the customer and stay awesome.